So I'm driving my car and I look out the window and I'm in an airplane. All right, everyone. So welcome to an interesting Fred's Full Throttle. This is a Sunday drive that I have wanted to do for a while. You can't see me because I'm wearing a camera on my head, looking like a lunatic, but I do car and motorcycle stuff, and so on to today's video. So you may or may not realize that I'm on the Mount Washington Auto Road. This is a kind of a road that goes to the top of the highest mountain in New England. It's over 6,000 feet high, and so we're gonna take a drive up. Got all my friends behind me. All right, so we're 1 mile in and we're at 2,000 feet elevation from sea level, not from the parking lot. The parking lot was like 1,100 feet, something like that. But we're gonna continue to climb. I believe the road is 8 miles to the summit, and it's a series of switchbacks and hairpins, and it's a pretty remarkable road. It is 66 degrees where we are now. Let's see what it does at the top. We've already dropped a degree. Starting to climb, get some real elevation. They're having an ATV day here so that you can take ATVs up the mountain if you're interested. You're allowed to park in the lower lot and then drive those up. So a couple interesting things about this road. The first is you'll notice that it's not particularly wide. It's only about 1.5 lanes wide for a pretty high percentage of it. And the other big thing is that there's no guardrails. So you really need to drive carefully and cautiously. And those two things combined mean that it can get a little hairy if you're in a larger vehicle, like a couple of my friends behind me in the BMW 550 GTs, you know, a big full-size vehicle. It can get pretty narrow, and right here there's not a lot of height to drop. I mean, it's a couple hundred feet, but when you get higher up, it's not a vertical cliff, but you're looking at a solid 2,000 to 3,000 feet at like a 60-degree angle. So you really want to pay attention. There's mile number 3. Starting to climb. We're still below the tree line though. This mountain's tall enough that you actually end up above the tree line, and the surface looks a lot like the moon. It's rocks and it's just sort of tundra. I mean, I guess the moon doesn't have tundra, but and plants and stuff.
Anyone's temperature rising? I think my radiator or my coolant pumping up a little bit. Yeah, I'm at 234 right now. General operating is like 212. Yeah, I can't remember last time I saw it at halfway. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm just curious.
Mile number 4. Starting to get some height.
That's a long way down.
You'll notice that the pavement is all chewed up. That's from the snowcats in the winter.
Wait, why can you take a snowcat up here? Can you ski down or something?
No, it's for the science researchers at the summit.
I gotcha.
This is insane.
Look at this view. Look at the clouds just coming across here. Are you doing all right?
Yeah. So I gotta stop the boat.
Fred's Full Throttle. Please subscribe.
Huh?
I'm talking to myself. It's like being on another planet. Notice how the trees here are getting shorter. That's the thinner air from elevation. We went by a sign a little while ago that said 4,000 feet, so we've more than doubled the altitude since we got on the road. And these trees, I mean, they are scrambling to hang on, and it's chilly. I got my heated seat going, and I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. Wow, I feel like we're in an airplane. So I've done this road a bunch of times, different vehicles, full-size vehicles, cars, motorcycles, and the smaller and narrower the vehicle, the better, because this road is pretty narrow, and you can see there's no margin for error. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, there's a part of this that's dirt, which makes it really interesting when they race up it. It'll go back to pavement once we get higher, but I think this sees some of the worst of the weather. I believe Mount Washington's known as, at least in the continental US, as the highest recorded winds, if I remember correctly, and there's a sign at the top. I'm pretty sure it's 232 miles an hour with gusts during probably a winter storm or something. All right, I'm looking at my temps and it just says okay. Thanks, Minnie. Temperature gauge would have been okay, but and okay is fine. Oh, okay, I've got like a little color chart. That's good. We're down to 58 degrees, so we're 8 degrees less than when we were at the bottom. You can see the bottom is just this little tiny spot down there. This is awesome. If this video is doing any justice to this, you should totally come up here and check this out. It was $35 to drive up, and it's $10 more per passenger. So like a couple would be 45 bucks, which seems steep, but for what you experience up here, it's totally worth it. So when we were at the bottom, there was a sign that said that the current weather was 45 at the top and 60 mile an hour winds and visibility of 50 feet, 50. So we're gonna be up in the clouds, it sounds like. Whew, that is some cool air. So there's a Wildcat Ski Resort. Wow. This is nuts. Look at that. Wow. So I'm driving my car and I look out the window and I'm in an airplane. Wow. We are gaining altitude and the temperature is dropping rapidly. It's getting windy. Now the temperature is dropping 2 degrees at a time. 5,000 feet. Wow. Oh my goodness. This is nuts. The Mini is wider than the lane right now. That is scary. Look at the clouds going across the road. Got my heated seat going. I should probably turn off the AC, turn up the heat. Wow, look at this. Don't go to the right. Wow, and we're in the clouds. It's like being on another planet. But no, we're up on a mountain in New England. They weren't kidding about visibility of 50 feet. Wow. This is something else. 7 miles. So we still have a mile to go. Anyone wonder how far it is off that right-hand side right now?
That you could go over and no one would ever know.
Nope. Ooh, that's chilly. Right there, that little sign is the actual like highest point. So that's the Cog Railway. All right, we made it to the top, and that was pretty intense. Until next time, Fred out.